Good morning, residents of the city of San Bernardino. I wanted to come out today because I have received some very concerning news regarding the claim that I filed against the city of San Bernardino for the misuse of CLETS by the police department. Last year, I was informed by the chief of police, Darren Goodman, on August 14th that an illegal run had transpired after it came back on a DOJ audit. He sat me down, he had me sit with meetings with other people, and we'll go through some of those details. As you guys know, on May 7th of 2025 this year, the city denied my claim, read a salacious letter calling me a liar, a swindler, a criminal, and that this never happened. And the claim has been dead since then. Over the weekend, I received information that throughout the last week or so, Chief Goodman has attended meetings with members of the public and sat and discussed my denied claim with them. And through these discussions, it was talked about that this just needs to go away for the city and what that would entail. For me, that entails the city telling the truth and apologizing. What the feedback was that during this discussion, it's alleged that Chief Goodman then shared subpoenaed information that he got with the members of public and was relayed that if this gets out, it's not going to be good. So when I received this information, my first question was, what are you blackmailing me? What are you trying to intimidate me? What are you trying to do here to resolve this issue of which you have caused? And that response was then given back, to which I have heard it was not well received. I want to make it very clear to everybody that's watching, that will be watching. I will not be silenced or threatened, extorted, blackmailed, any adjective you can describe to what it would take to make me go away. And really what upsets me is that it's this continued abuse of power that we are so used to in the city of San Bernardino, which has eroded away public trust, that over 5 decades of this, it literally drove us into bankruptcy. And now I have to stand before you and share with you what I have actually reported to the DA's office yesterday when I met with the Public Integrity Unit, when I filed this with the Public Integrity Unit, which I have now escalated because depending on the federal statutes involved, I've filed a claim with the FBI as well as the Department of Justice. I am not going anywhere. And so it's sad because, and I'm going to go down the list, that remember how you were told everything was a public record, that the chief went and subpoenaed the incidents reports from the night I called 911 for help when I needed it with my partner at the time. He said that it won't be good because after I called 911, my partner had told the cops that I hit him with a pool cue and used the N-word. And even though Chief knows that I did nothing wrong, even though that there was no proof that any of this actually happened, he still wants to go out and say that. And so I guess my question is, do you want women, do you want I or anybody to be afraid to call the cops because what someone might say when we do that? Because that is horrible. And I can't change anything that happened 20 years ago. But what I can do is never allow you to ever try and use that against me. Additionally, he said that he would release photos from another incident of things that he had subpoenaed. And again, whenever I have an incident, which has been very limited in my life until I've come to the city of San Bernardino, any incident with the police, I have always been taught that you comply, that you let the police do their job. You let them investigate, take their pictures, and do what they need to do to get a clear picture of what happened. So I don't understand. Is now this the opposite of what I'm supposed to be doing? that you would want to embarrass me because I complied with the police and let them, again, find out, as Chief knows, because he has run me himself and showed me my CLETS audit on August 7th of 2025, that I've never done anything wrong. I've never been charged with a crime, never gone to court over anything on these matters. It's really sad. But since you want to go out of your way to think that this is how you're going to control me, we're not doing that. You know, this whole ordeal has gone on for almost a year, actually a year now. And I really trusted the chief of police. I trusted the San Bernardino Police Department to do the right thing. As information was coming out, as people were putting out information, I was reporting it to the chief. I was looking through databases, trying to find any and all communications to see where this stuff was coming from. It got to the point where I told the chief, hey, look, I've reported false information. Someone posted I'd been released from jail 14 years before I was born. I told him I reported that. I reported it for fraud. And he told me, hey, look, I've got leaks. I don't know who to trust in my department. So I then don't know who to trust in your department. And then we move forward with this. We have investigators come. And I'm sitting here being told that an investigator is supposed to be asking me about any contact that I had with the previous Detective DeRocher. And then she starts asking me about what things are on Facebook. And I'm like, hey, that's not what we're here for. And so the chief told me, don't say anything. So I don't say anything. And now that you already knew that, I guess, you know, why wouldn't my IP address show up that I was reporting all this? I showed you what I was reporting. See, this is the stuff that really bothers me. Because San Bernardino Police Department, the history of the city of it itself, what they like to do is figure out how to make the person that stands up against them, the person that calls them out, the person that won't go away or just go along to get along, be the villain, no matter what they do to them. And that's why this is the fourth thing I heard was very interesting. That even though I was told there wasn't a run on me in 2019, that somehow now there is a signature of mine that allowed it, which we all know CLETS does not authorize the run of civilians for non-law enforcement purposes. And being a candidate for office is a non-law enforcement purpose. So these things I have now taken to the DA, and I have expanded my request so you guys know that right after the city came out and lied, I filed a complaint with the Department of Justice and the District Attorney's Office and Public Integrity Unit. It is still active. It is still going. What we will not walk away from is the truth. That on 5 separate occasions, Chief Darren Goodman told me I was illegally run, told me who did it. Then he went out to independent members of the community who I had no idea and told them that Steve DeRochers did this. He asked me to meet with the POA president, Loria, and I took Councilwoman Calvin with me, where he apologized and admitted to the wrongdoing. Now, it would be easy for all of this to be known to the city, but do you know what? When I filed my claim, the city never asked for 1 ounce of evidence. They never asked to see a text, an email, a statement, nothing. Because they had already determined that they were going to cover up and they were going to lie about this. This is why Theodore Sanchez hangs the Sun article that trashes me in his office like a trophy. Because it is the continual, malicious, intentional harm that we have to put up with as residents, as elected officials, as staff, and employees in the city of San Bernardino. So I will be posting this information to my Facebook, but I want you to hear from the chief himself what he told me and why I filed my claim with the absolute understanding that I had been wronged. I said I had requested a meeting with him and said, are we going to go over everything that you told me on August 14th? And he told me he had met with me. He said, I did, remember? I even showed you the printed copy I got from them with the entry displaying DeRocher's name. There wasn't much to the report since there was only 1 entry. But yes, we will need statements from you I have a detective working the criminal case against the former officer. I said, no, you just called last Wednesday afternoon and said the audit was in and we would go over it. I was just following up on what you said last time I saw you was August 7th before you went to the DOJ. He said, then I stand corrected. And to which I said, no worries. And his reply, I've been talking about it so much to others. Department of Justice, DOA, District Attorney's Office, Internal Affairs, the city manager. I thought we went over it already. My apologies. And before that, on August 15th, he texts me, good morning. Lieutenant Laurie is going to be reaching out to you. Please take the meeting. And August 15th, 2024 at 7:24 a.m., Lieutenant Lauria reached out and said, good morning, Treasurer. This is President Lauria of the POA. Last night I received some very concerning information and I would like to meet with you. Are you available to meet today? To which I agreed. He apologized for what the POA did. He said DeRocher by his name and said that he recommends pursuing criminal charges as well. These are the facts. Now, I may be a fool for trusting the chief of police because I thought he was doing the right thing, because I thought he was a man of integrity who wanted to change the toxic, vile culture that had previously existed in the police department. So that's my bad. But I have never trusted Lieutenant Jose Lauria because I have known for years that he has gone out of his way to lie, to make up things against people he doesn't like, and politicize the police department. Which is why I will also be sending a copy of a recording of the meeting with me and Councilwoman Calvin and him to the district attorney, to the DOJ, and the FBI. Because what did he say in his statement? Should be accountable for the things that you do? Well, sir, it's time for you to be accountable for the things that you said. I may be a lot of things in this world, but one thing I am not is a liar, and the other thing is I am not a punk. I will not be played. If I don't do this now, what will you do next time? Don't vote on this or we'll put this report out. Don't say that or we'll put this report out. Say this or we'll put this report out. Never in my life will you ever have that power over me. So this conference is for all of you. Now, what I find even more interesting is that after my response was given that I will not acquiesce to threats, to blackmail, to extortion, to whatever, that on a Sunday, because you know how our council likes Sundays, right? When no one's watching, an email came through from the city clerk's office that there is a consensus among the council to request a special meeting this Wednesday to discuss my claim and to give staff direction. My claim that you denied May 7th that no longer exists within your purview, or my claim that you know I will not go away from. Now we're going to do the public records research to find out which council members requested this meeting, because how interesting that after 3 months they magically woke up on the same day at the same time to say we should go discuss this. This is the problem with the city of San Bernardino. I was elected to serve you for 4 years. I'm not promised another election. I'm not even promised tomorrow. So what I tell you is what I will do today, which is that I will stand here, we will stand here, so that you never have to stand here. That I will speak, that we will speak, so that you will never be threatened with silence. And that I will be the change you elected me to be, that we will be the change that you need in this city, so that the weaponization of the police department by elected officials will never be allowed again. And I do want to thank Chief Goodman for letting the members of the public know that I was run illegally because Mayor Valdivia went to the former Chief of Police McBride and insisted on trying to come after me over my public comments. Because I didn't know that. I only knew that James Penman had told me that, which is why I asked for you to do the audit in the first place. So thank you for putting that information together for me, because you had never told me what the run was over. But apparently you have no problem talking to members of the community. So I thank you guys for everything that you do, San Bernardino. I appreciate you for giving me the strength to be here today. And I know that Mr. Beard and Ms. Calvin also want to share some words with you. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Scott Beard. I attended a meeting with Chief Goodman and Dr. Ortiz where he admitted to us that she had been illegally run in the CLETS by former San Bernardino Police Detective Steve DeRochers. Chief Goodman even provided both of us copies of the DOJ CLETS audit showing the run. He told us it was an illegal run, that he could never stand by the reason for the run. If Detective DeRochers was still active with the police department, that he would fire him over this issue, and that he was pursuing a criminal case against him. At no time since this meeting has Chief Goodman ever told me this did not happen. I am very concerned over the cover-up and lying that continues to take place in our police department. I believe the Department of Justice and the District Attorney's Office should immediately commence an independent investigation. I also call on Mayor Tran to tell the people what she has told me, that she cannot stand behind the statement she read regarding this matter. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Kimberly Calvin, former councilwoman here in the city of San Bernardino, representing Ward 6. It is a very sad day that I must stand before you, but I am here to give another testament to what I heard Officer Laurier, president of POA, say to Councilwoman Ortiz. And President Laurier stated that he was very apologetic for what had taken place, for what Officer DeRocher had done. And in his statement, he also gave direction as to what her next steps could be if he were her. Now, this statement couldn't have been any more blatant. President Laurier was not under duress. He was instructed to be there by his chief. The meeting was taken. And fortunately, Councilmember Ortiz brought myself along. I was a sitting council member still at that time. And so then Officer Laurier was also standing there before one of his superiors. So then you still made the statement, and I then took your statement as truth. So to stand here today and have to see and listen and witness Dr. Ortiz fight against what was already given to her as valid facts, and have to defend her name and have to defend any actions of hers 20 years ago after calling police department for support, is atrocious. And I believe that if this can happen to the highest level of elected officials in the city of San Bernardino, then it surely can happen to any community member that we have in the city of San Bernardino. But what we also must understand is that President Laurier, Chief Goodman, they all have bosses. And their bosses are San Bernardino City Council, mayor, city managers. And what we see here today is just status quo for the city of San Bernardino. This is exactly what happens to not only elected officials, but to anyone who chooses to speak out and against ill actions against community or against our city as a whole or against council members. What the city continues to need is people who are courageous. What the city continues to need is constituents, community members who will stand, business owners who will stand against corruption, against during election seasons, you coming and then tying folks' hands behind their back and holding anything against them that they may or may not have done. Because what this city is very well known for is creating and fabricating false documents, false reports that they cannot stand by. So that is the reason why we are here today, because Dr. Ortiz has already shown you, read from statements, documents of which she has and has shared with not only the city of San Bernardino, but also with the Department of Justice. You all now have an opportunity. You all now have an opportunity to ask the questions, find the answers. Do not allow anyone to just tell you what it is that they want you to hear. Changing and shaping the narratives for their benefits. That is not what we're going to continue to do. And as you already know, Councilwoman Dr. Treasurer Ortiz has been standing in this position doing this for the past 6 years. I myself have entered into now the 5th year of standing and defending the city of San Bernardino. But we cannot continue to do this alone. We will never be successful. The city of San Bernardino will never become the city of which we all know that we can be. I plead with you today. Please stand against what you have already known, the corruption that lies within every department of our city. And we must also support those employees that are inside of City Hall who do stand for what's good and want to. But when your police department, your city attorney, your city manager, your council, and your mayor do not stand for what is right, then we only have ourselves. But they all work for us. Remember that, community. They work for you. Thank you very much.